All right, guys. So, this is out of PCP Media. The American gun grabbing left seem to have this incredible delusion that they're going to get guns banned, and then we're going to all turn them in. And if not, there's going to be some civil war, revolution, coup, whatever you want to call it, and that the U.S. military is going to go door to door and start taking out Americans because that's their sick little bloodlust that they have. And they're like, oh, well, what's your AR-15 going to do against drones and tanks? Or if you're Eric Swalwell, he'll threaten to nuke you, if you guys remember that. Boy, what a bloodlust these people have with a desire to use American troops against American citizens who disagree with them on the principle of owning implements, of war. Because let's be honest, the AR-15, your gun rights, the Second Amendment, it's not about hunting. It's not about self-defense. It's a check and balance to overthrow a tyrannical government if they do things like go door to door and try to take your firearms. Remember that whole little thing called Lexington and Concord? Boy, yeah, the Brits tried to take the guns. How did that work out? Exactly. So let's go further here. Just this, I love the absolute arrogance that the left has towards the American military because they assume that those in the military are just dumb, robotic, order-following idiots, okay? So let's roll back their philosophy real quick. They always have this thought process that if you enlist in the military, no matter what branch, you're an idiot because you were not smart enough or you didn't have daddy's money to go to college. Well, first off, that's not exactly true. Me, as a United States Marine Corps veteran, I was infantry. And I can tell you that many of us in the infantry enlisted side had 4-year college degrees, to include myself. Now, you could call me an idiot for going enlisted with a college degree, and you got me there. But the reality is where I was at my time in my life, I wanted to go infantry and I wanted to go enlisted and do an officer's package was the plan because I wanted to have the experience and I wanted the job as an infantryman. Okay? And I figured that if I did my time as an enlistedman, it would help me in my officer career, which never materialized, but that was because what I wanted to do changed. I decided I didn't want to pursue a career in the military, but I digress. Okay, so the point is that they think that those who serve in the military are just dumb and will blindly follow orders, when that is just certainly not the case. As an infantryman, the one who would be the door kicker responsible for going door to door to take American citizens' firearms to disarm them, or to engage in engage in combating an insurgency on American soil. Me and my boys, we had all talked about it when we were active duty, and I only left active duty in 2015. That's not a long time ago. And I was in the reserves as recently as 2017, and which is also really not a long time ago. And we had these conversations about what we would do if the order was given to go door to door and disarm Americans. And you know what we said? Resoundingly, across 2 different units that I was with several basically generations of Marines as far as it's concerned, as far as timelines with junior Marines, my peers, and my seniors. We just pretty much said we would just disappear the people who gave us the orders to do that. We not only wouldn't follow it, we would just, you would never find the person who would want to give that order. They would not be found. You can take that however you want to take that, but that is exactly what would happen. And do you really, really think that much has changed in a few years? But let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and just entertain this delusion for just a little bit. All right, let's say that the entire United States military, not just the Marine Corps, but the entire U.S. military, the entire DoD, the entire war machine is going to take it to the American people. So you got 1.5 million in the military, 1.5 million people in the military. If you can go ahead and throw in the police force, I don't know exactly what they are countrywide. I have no idea what it is. Let's just say it's 2 million. Okay, I pulled that number out of nowhere. I think it's actually significantly lower, but hell, you know what will make it even bigger? We'll say 4 million. Okay, we've made it 4 million police, which I don't. Once again, I don't know what the numbers are, but I know it's not that high. I'm giving you numbers. I am giving you a fictitious amount of people, way more. Okay, so let's say you have your 4.5 million people to go door to door and combat American citizens, their fellow Americans. Well, let me tell you why that's not going to work out so well. So first off, you've got 330 million Americans. So you got less than 5 million Americans versus 225 million. Now, you might say that a good portion are going to be all for this. They might be at first. But wait, there's more. So let's discuss what happens. So, all right, you're going to lose your population very quick, okay? The hearts and minds is what you want to have, the hearts and minds of the people, all right? Now, if you start doing drone strikes in people's neighborhoods and their neighbors start getting killed, or, oh, here's where we really get fun. Surrey, what is a revenge killing? We haven't really thought about that, right? So, all right. So me, I'm just your average guy. I used to go hunting as a kid or something. I got a couple old, hunting rifles back, and I think I got about a box of ammo. My brother, that guy, he loves guns. He loves his AR-15s, and he wasn't going to turn them in. And, I didn't really think anything of it. I was like, whatever, nothing's going to happen. Well, all of a sudden, he just got drone striked. And he has a wife and kids. Or if he didn't get drone striked, his house was no-knock raided at 3 a.m. And not only was he killed, but his wife, kids, and dog were killed. You mean that my niece and my nephew and my sister-in-law got murdered? For doing nothing? Oh, hell no. Now, I'm going to pick up my hunting rifle, and I'm going to go, he got droned. You know what? I know that my neighbor, Tom, 3 houses down, is a drone pilot. He may not be the same drone pilot, but I know he's a drone pilot, or I know he's in the military in general. I'm just going to sit from my window and wait for him to go out to go to work. Boom, that's a revenge killing. Because you just radicalized somebody who otherwise didn't really have a dog in the fight. You would have that happen at the massive scale. Now, all of a sudden, you have turned America into the Balkans or Ireland even. That may actually be a more fitting example. So you've got 4th generation asymmetric warfare, and you don't know really now who's on whose side. But you do know that there's a lot of people dying. Now all of a sudden, you got military members that are, they can't go home and sleep at night, or their house was burned down while they were at work, and their family was killed in the process. That's not going to do well for their motivation. Or you're not that guy, but you found out that your battle buddy, he just had his family burned to death, their house burnt down, and they're all dead. This is a dark thing, right? You're like, is my paycheck worth this? You know what? I'm taking off my uniform and I'm not going back to work anymore. So now you're going to start losing the ranks. Not only would you lose the diehards, people through attrition, of going door to door, and people starting getting shot, you're going to have people just not showing up to work anymore. And maybe they start moving around because, their neighbors knew they were in the military. So they're just going to pack up and leave, and they're just going to disappear. And now you just have this whole little infrastructure falling apart. But let's talk about infrastructure a little bit, because how does that work? Because people go, well, what are you going to do against tanks and A-10 Warthogs and stuff like that? Well, you don't have to take out the pilot. I mean, you can do that. You don't have to take out the tank operator, which both of those would be obviously preferable to trying to take on an A-10 or an Abrams. Okay, so you get them while they're sleeping, which we basically already discussed, or you just deprive them the ability to get fuel. Here's the thing about the United States: it is not designed to have a battle within. The infrastructure is not there. You can discuss how the interstate was made to quickly be able to mobilize troops and move them around the country, and that is very true. However, if you look at any military base, they have no real security. Okay? They really don't. They are large training grounds for us to go fight wars overseas. So you could start seeing people easily sneak on base. Okay? Look, this would be just incredibly easy for people just to walk on so many bases. They can just go through acres and acres of woods. And if they just looked on Google Maps, even though bases are usually somewhat blurred out, I think the base housing's blurred out. You think even if you start blurring out stuff that people still won't know from experiences from having gone on those bases before, being able to find people who had, if they didn't have firsthand experience themselves. This is not good. So and now once again, let's get back to the numbers game. You don't have that many people. You may be able to, the military could possibly occupy a few cities, DC, maybe New York, but they would quickly have to retrograde and abandon even the cities as their military installations are starting to get hit. And guess what? They're not going to even be able to have too much security there. So now you've got them pulled back, and they've circled the wagon, if you will, around bases. Those bases have to have supplies. So you simply just have to deprive them of the ability to have food trucked in or have fuel trucked in, medical supplies, anything. You could just block their paths, either by setting up checkpoints and ambushes, or destroying bridges. There's numerous ways to deprive your enemy, in this case, a United States military against its own people. Does this not sound delusional yet? I mean, think about this stuff. But do you really think I am scratching the surface of how an American Civil War balkanization would occur. Now, the sad thing is you have a lot of people who, for some sick reason, think that they want this to happen. You know, they're like, they have their own self-righteousness that they're going to send men to go do their bloodlust for them on one side of taking away people's guns because they disagree with them. Or you have people who have a sick, idea that, if we have a civil war, they're going to come out and be like some hero like in the movies. Well, I'm going to tell you something about war. There's no heroes. There's survivors. War is terrible. There's no winners in war. No heroes, no winners. You can say, oh, well, we won this war, that war. Did you? How many people died? How many people's lives were upended for no reason? And even if you did win that war and you came home a hero, what do you mentally get to suffer with the rest of your life? I can tell you, I can still vividly remember every single time I raised my rifle in Afghanistan. Every single time. Is that something you want to have on your mind, people? Or do you really want it on your mind that that you helped initiate violence against Americans? What type of sick, disturbing person would want to use the United States military against their neighbors? Think about that. Do you really want our guns? We just want to be left in peace, man. All right? Just want to be left in peace. Just want to chill. Just want to grill. All right? It's pretty simple. We just want to be free to live our lives. We don't want to hurt anybody. We just want to live, man. We just want to vibe. Okay? Look, if you like this content, please hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe. Please share this with others. And, go check out my Patreon. Go check out my website. I have a bunch of great links there to many books that you guys should go check out. I talked about Joe Dolio's The Baseline Training Manual. There's also some really good ones. There's Concrete Jungle by Clay Martin. Prayer Fire, once again, by Clay Martin. Braxton McCoy's book. Several really, really good books that people should read. Go check those out at PCP Media. Also, go check out my store where there's all sorts of great clothing designs that I have come up with. I'm partnered with Crypto Fashion over there. When you guys buy that stuff, you know, you get some cool stuff, but you help out the channel. Thank you so much. Deuces.